about natural skills, I think those are important because these are what connect you to your innermost roots. And it's from within these roots and from within these skills that you can begin to start to manifest what you need to manifest, in a sense to where it's almost like when you get into a job or when you get into a career that you want to do as an entrepreneur, whether that's you selling or making clothes or that's you getting into a technical field of something, you might not be utilizing all your gifts, and the technical field itself might not be sustainable for all of your natural skills or all your gifts, and eventually you might get tired of it. So this is what I'm saying about it being important to understand and really enhance and develop your natural skills. So that way you have a vision for what you do. When the natural skills aren't developed like that and they're not strong and it's not your foundation and you don't have bodies of work and you go into trying to get into a technical field or function or start to craft out your career without this, then this is where we veer off the path and we fall by the wayside. That's what makes it important to really, before you even start to craft out and say I want to do this or I want to do that, let's go and see what we have first in the house, and and figure out how to develop this. What do we have over here at the crib first, and make sure that we're enhancing these and developing these to the best of our abilities and taking care of these skills first. And then once we take care of what's over here at the crib, then we can go and start to develop and start to branch off and do whatever we do through those skills that we have in our own crib. Because when we get into the technical field or we try to get into all these other stuff that's propagated to us, we can't really get into it or it don't really fit us. And it might cause us to just, not be an enjoyment what we're doing, and it might cause us to not flourish all the way like we should. So developing these skills is important in order to get the vision, the full vision of what it is that we want to do. Because a lot of times when we're trying to figure out what it is we want to do, especially as athletes, we can't really figure that out because so much stuff gets propagated to us in terms of becoming an athlete and working out and playing ball. But the thing is, all that stuff is good, is great. But what's not good about it is the fact that it's the only thing being shown to us. And it is who's the one controlling the economics of what it is that we're trying to get into in terms of basketball, like the NBA. So is there a way we can play overseas, or is there another way we can go about playing basketball, even if it's not making money, in order for us to really figure out what it is that we want to do? Because a lot of times it don't come that way in terms of what we want to do. Is that really what's going to make us money, right? And is basketball always going to make us money? Or can we just play it for fun at a really high level? So it's just some things to really consider. And when it terms of crafting out your career and what you want to do, it becomes a lot more complicated than how it's propagated. So when we get into the aspect of really developing and getting educated on the entrepreneurial aspect, we have to look at it in a sense to what type of information are we taking in? Like, are we just taking in bull crap from like what we see on social media, or are we just taking in bull crap from some other type of source? What type of information are we feeding ourselves in terms of the direction that we go, and what are we connected to? It's a matter of being educated and being connected to the right cause and the right purpose. That way, when you do develop your natural skills into what it is you want to do, you're moving off the beat or the rhythm of what you're connected to, and you're not veering off into some other direction or making wrong moves. Your actions and the way you move is determined now by how you can assist in this whatever it is that you're connected to, or being connected to the right cause. So that's the most important thing. Especially extending off of the natural skills. But that's the process. It's a process making that transition from everything that you see on social media or that type of influence, and then taking it back to try to re-educate yourself and reformulate your thinking in order to fit what it is that you need to fit, and then also go back and actually develop those natural skills that you have and what's at the crib and what's inside. So all that stuff is hard, and it's a process, but that's the way to go in terms of developing yourself. And there's really no other way of developing yourself. So yeah, that's going to conclude this little short podcast video right here. But I hope y'all learned something in this video right here. So I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.